I'm not feeling so great in terms of mental health recently, which is why I haven't really posted anything with talking in a few days. And part of that's because I got my MRI scan done, and a few days later they mailed me a link to all the images, and the radiologist who looked at them, what he had to say about it. Excuse me. Even though I have been kind of leery of putting this out there, I was really hoping that my MRI would come back and be interpreted as at least somewhat abnormal, because I wanted to have an answer to why I had the symptoms that I had, instead of being able to say, yes, I have MRI evidence that I have MS. This is great. I now have a MRI could your car be any louder? I now have an MRI that just says nothing, basically. It was interpreted as normal. Whatever that means. So, it kind of just leaves me in the lurch in terms of symptoms and treatment options. The next step is getting my visual evoked responses test done. That's the day after Christmas. Merry Christmas, me! Visual evoked responses test. It's electrodes on your scalp, so I'm not super excited about that. It also apparently involves a lot of strobe lights. So I could either come out with that test as normal and my MRI as normal, and again be like super brushed off regardless of how I'm actually being impacted by the visual symptoms that I'm having. Or maybe something in the VER will come back abnormal, and then I'll have some sort of like data to back up my feelings and experiences. Because it gets really frustrating basically being told the traffic. It gets really frustrating being told what you're describing doesn't line up with anything that I've ever heard of. Therefore, it's not real. And I'm gonna get some data to prove to you that it's not real. That's what my neuro-ophthalmologist said. Anyway, in no uncertain terms, he said that I have no thing that's a thing. So in order to kind of deal with that radiologist interpretation of my MRI scan as normal and not being able to get my VER done sooner, as soon as I was hoping anyway, not being able to get that done sooner and dealt with, and I can't schedule a follow-up with Mr. Neuro-ophthalmologist until after I've done both of them. Not even like, I have this scheduled. Could I have an appointment scheduled with him for after it? That's not good enough. You can't do that. For whatever reason. So, I don't know. I'm getting derailed a lot. I just don't feel very good about my health right now. And my physical health being a problem is impacting my mental health. And on top of that, excuse me, I still have all of my concerns about income and finishing my schooling and all of these big problems of life that just don't seem to go away. I have, in theory, this tree is really beautiful, hold on. So pretty. Okay, onward. In theory, I have an internship site, but there are so many potential issues. And here's why it's only in theory. My husband is trying to get into a master's program that would require us to move. Therefore, I cannot commit to anything that would start in a few months where I'm living now, because I wouldn't be able to finish it in time to also move. So there's that. And then there's also the possibility that he won't get in. So for the moment, I've basically said, okay, well, the town that we would be moving to, I'll look there for an internship. And I did. And I was given a, sure, we'll take you, schedule an appointment. But it's like 200 miles away. I can't make that trip for a 30-minute appointment. I just can't. So I'm trying to work with them to get either a phone interview or a Skype interview that would cover the same information. But I think I'm really worried that they're going to say no, because it's only a tentative move and they can't meet me in person. Now keep in mind, it is December, and this potential internship wouldn't even start till like early September, late August at the earliest, absolute earliest. So I'm just so frustrated because I want things to work out and I want to have a set plan that I can kind of go with, especially starting up my school again soon. I just am having a lot of trouble with scheduling for school, which should start again in February. I'm not certain about that one. I have to call them and find out the dates. Scheduling for school for the actual coursework, scheduling for school for the internship, my body being a pile of hot garbage, my mental health being a pile of hot garbage, and just an uncertain financial situation. It's just a lot of bad things, and it's difficult to balance. So I'm going back to the library to return some books and enjoy my walk, and maybe get out some of my negative feelings. I'm sure I have positive feelings too, I just can't find them right now. Not too far from the library is a place called the Reptile Snack Shack, and I'm like high-key about to hit that place up after I get there. I may or may not be able to take footage for the vlog there, but I'm gonna try. Super excited for the Reptile Snack Shack, though. I hear that in addition to actually having food for reptiles, which I assumed for the longest time that was the only thing they sold, they also carry the animals themselves. So I might be able to see some cool morphs and whatnot. Meet some cool snacks. I don't know if you guys are enjoying snacks or not, but I have been having a great time learning about snakes and binging Taylor Nicole Dean's channel and liking all of her Twitter posts about snakes and living vicariously because my landlady has decided, rather decreed, there will be no snakes under this roof. We're almost to the library. I'm so excited. I'm so glad that I have the opportunity to walk out here, though. When I woke up this morning, it took me probably an hour and a half just to get out of bed because I was so depressed. I got out of bed after an hour and a half. Then I sat for another hour and didn't really do anything. And eventually I went and got my teeth brushed and ate food. But that took a lot of time and effort because when I got downstairs I had to feed Twisty, I had to feed the dogs, and they were extra hungry because I fed them around noon instead of when they typically get food, which is closer to 8. Oh, yeah, I mean, I also fed Pepper too. Don't want to forget my baby. She kind of gets just wrapped up in my morning routine because she lives in my bathroom. It's really easy to just be like, click, feed, move on with life. But yeah, we're here. We're going to look for some more books. Heck yeah. All right, have a wonderful day.